you do get a lot of chances to create. Bill, there's one. That's it, man. That's all you have to do on long ball counter. Get the ball into those middle of the pitch areas, let the players make the runs for you, and it's boom. What's the crack, lads? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking a little bit more about v4.2.1. It is a brand new eFootball 2025 update coming on the 16th of January. Will it be big? Will it be small? Who knows? We're going to hope that it fixes a lot of stuff, right? And I do want new modes, of course, new gameplay. Obviously, we'll get new cards over the next couple of weeks. But I definitely want to see, and I want to talk about in this video specifically, about the new meta, right? And not even the new meta, but a switch up to the meta. Because the meta has been the same for the last 2 years. Long ball counter or quick counter. Very deep, 4 centre backs, 1 holding DMF that comes back as a 50 defender. So you've got 5 at the back. You're defending with 5, you're attacking with 5. A lot of one-touch passes, a lot of central play. The odd overlap, the only reason you do overlaps and bring the ball out wide is not to cross or not to do anything like that, but it's for sweat back cutbacks. That's been a big part of, say, the FIFA franchise for years. That has been for the last 2 years in eFootball as well. And also getting the ball in centralized areas like this and popping it, either for a direct shot or for a rebound into a dangerous area. Now, I'm going to use myself as a sample size, boys, right? Last week on stream, we were really struggling with out wide. We were playing with De La Fuente. Since I've switched to right card long ball counter, and I haven't played long ball counter in probably about 7 to 8 months, the gameplay is just so seamlessly easier, lads. I'm not saying that you have no skill, or I'm not saying I'm throwing shade if you play long ball counter or quick counter that, you know, you're shit at the game or anything like that. It's not really got to do with that. It just is factually at the moment that with the current gameplay, even though the meta hasn't changed in the last 2 years, I think with the current actual gameplay, like the way the gameplay is at the moment, I don't think it's ever favoured long ball counter or quick counter and central attacks more. Just because of the way the defensive AI is, the player runs. And I'll show this towards the end of the video. But using myself as a sample size, right? I went from struggling every game to score goals to winning 6 games in a row where I didn't concede 1 goal. Now you can say, oh, but Barry, you were just beasting that day. No, it really wasn't anything got to do with me playing absolutely out of my skin or anything like that. I think 90% of it had got to do with the fact that I was just simplifying my play. If I got a shot on target, boom, we were taking a shot, getting rebounds. And I'll show you the clips here in a second. But the big question you need to ask yourself is whether you want to play quick counter or long ball counter. Here is one example of if you are going to be playing long ball counter, right? You can still leave gaps open, but this is the big difference. In quick counter here, you're not really going to get back because the gap is going to be increased. But in long ball counter, all your AI will always get back into that central area. And then, of course, they just have direct lines of running. Watch the AI here. Don't mind me. Watch what Kagawa does with the run. It's a brilliant run. He stops and staggers his run, stays central, and then he stays on side without any input from me, and we slot it home with a little tap-in finish. Again, here's another example here. We're going to be very deep here. It's 1-1. The game is going to turn with this interception here. We take it off him. Seedorf is going to pop it. It's a one-touch pass. We actually make a mistake. We still get the rebound from a central area. Another interception from a central area against us. Now we're going to get the ball back again centrally here. So that's 3, 4, 5 interceptions from a central area right there. That is because of long ball counter. When you do have the ball in these areas, you're super, super deep. When you have it with quick counter, you've got a higher line. But attacking-wise, the players will always look to run in behind the defense. Now, if you look at rank number 1 in the world at the moment, right, he is using Arteta with a pretty much identical formation to us here. The only change he's done is he has put Shinji Kagawa instead up as an SS. Now, we could do that with Shinji Kagawa, or we could bring on a different player to go into a 4-3-3, but essentially it's still the same. 4 centre backs, 1 holding defender like Vieira to bring it back. However, that's only part of the equation here. The second biggest thing is the pass level. I don't think it's ever been as overpowered as it is now. And I'm going to show you in training mode exactly why. We're going to switch from my usual level 2 to level 1, which is the most assisted. Now watch this against the legendary or the superstar AI. They literally can't even react to what I'm doing. And I just spray off 15 passes, one-touch passes. And I'm not even aiming where I'm passing. I'm literally just pressing X here, boys. You know, and this is against the legend AI. I know it's not online. I know you'll say, oh, I would have closed down this, I would have closed down that. And also the secondary thing is as well, is that when you're playing long ball counter or quick counter, you put so much pressure on the opposition's backline that you will get a lot of goals like you're seeing here. Whether touch and goes, if they don't work out, you go back and try again. So we're after losing the ball, we get it back with Pirlo. Now we're going to go for the run again. We're still waiting for Shinji Kagawa to make the run. This time he makes the run, and now we've got a rebound from the keeper straight back at us. We had a Gareth Bale interception when he couldn't clear it, and we had the Shinji Kagawa rebound. So it's all about really punishing the AI and punishing players' mistakes and punishing unforced errors that when you're trying to clear the ball. When I'm playing out wide, lads, genuinely, I sometimes cannot clear the ball. And people to be saying, oh, you should have cleared there. And it's like, I literally tried. I had the power bar maxed out. Now, this can be explained, right? And if you guys want to see a more thorough video about this, about player styles and how you track their runs and how they're coded and stuff, right? It will be a bit more of a technical analysis video. And I know that can be quite boring sometimes, so we'll try spice it up a bit. But just look at Cristiano Ronaldo here. What you are essentially doing and what the top level guys do, okay? Not to get too boring and not to get like that we have a PhD in this or anything like that. It is a video game at the end of the day. But what the top ranked guys do is they are always waiting for the animations to switch between progressive and aggressive, right? Or adaptive, or reactive, or proactive. Proactive, they're going to make runs. Even with the likes of Gareth Bale and Shinji Kagawa, their play styles. Gareth Bale is not going to be in a position, he's meant to be a prolific winger. Look where Gareth Bale is positioned with long ball counter. He is literally centralized in the pitch. Ronaldo is going to go. You'll see Ronaldo repeat that animation loop or his motion where he's like tracking the run, running. Now, obviously, there's no defenders on this. We're just showing you an example. But that is essentially what the top-ranked guys do. They are able to see the runs and they know what the players are runs. There are certain triggers, whether it's a player puts up his hand to signal for a long ball, whether he points on the ground to get the ball through. And there are certain triggers. Obviously, the defenders interact with that or they interfere with that when you're playing online. But essentially, if you boil it down, that's why the top guys are always able to like get those pockets of space. You know, if you watch any of the really, really top level guys play, and you can do it as well. Like I can do it at certain stages as well, but it's more about what your AI lets you do. So I definitely think that they need to tone down the long ball counter. If you guys are not playing long ball counter or quick counter, let me know. Are you still having fun with the game? I think that there has been a big switch in the last 2-3 weeks, especially with out wide, which I was playing. And I have gone from this formation that you're seeing on screen here now, which I was having a lot of fun with and scoring a lot of goals. But I don't think that the crossing or the corners or anything like that is really at the level that it should be at. So it is kind of a difficult one right now, I think. But yeah, let me know what you guys think and I'll talk to you in a bit. Peace.